as well. That was a close call. That looked like it might have been a second collateral even. That could have gone wildly worse for Big, but it's 8-7, and it's going to be a comfortable ending for the first half.
Solid out of Big to grind those rounds back to ensure that it's as close as possible going into the second half. That is exactly they would have wanted coming into their now CT side. This is the chance for them to be as comfortable as possible. It's the CT side of Dust 2 that fares greater for sides, and Virtus.pro just not able to cap, but is still 15, potentially more rounds away as we open up our second half. And now with Virtus.pro onto their T side, going to be interested to see what they bring us in the pistol, whether they go for that A long split and with A short, or whether they push themselves in toward that B bomb site, which is something they do like to do on pistol rounds, a standard rush. But Big, providing that they can keep up the same momentum of not allowing VP to slip out of their grasps, going to see again a much closer map, maybe eminent to what we saw in the minor when these guys played with the 6, maybe even more coming out of this because of how close it is so far.
I mean, we kind of expected Big to be the favored team in this series, and I have to admit, you know, Mirage was a bit of a shock to me, but it makes sense when you think about it. You know, Big banning Nuke, and then Mirage was obviously the first pick for VP. Dust 2 equally so for Big, but I mean, it already started off pretty poorly on Dust 2, and Big at least were able to pull it off into. Oh, I think that's the Portuguese caster, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Yeah,
I think it is.
Looks like him. Yeah. But basically the point is, Big, they're able to close out down to a single round difference, and if they can repeat the result from the online match, surely we can see them win this series rather easily, or at least, you know, more comfortably than they did. Dennis through mid. It's the entry. Calistris will fall fighting with a Glock. Not sure why exactly that's the case, but it's going to be the case nonetheless. 8-7, and it's a B play by the looks of it of VP. I kind of like this, although Big have the answer prepared, and Zantiaris, free kill, Snatcher will fall.
Big, you can tell they're starting to now feel comfortable in this second map, considering Mihu down to a single point of health. A simple shut down out of Tabson and Dennis, and that will see Snacks in a 1 versus 4. More importantly, Big now going to be tying the scoreline. It's going to be an 8-8, and we'll see that ET side already getting instant impact, and I think this was the time they had to do it. They couldn't have allowed Virtus.pro the pistol again, because that would have not only spelled for 1 or 2 extra rounds in VP's favor. Exactly, yeah, but it's the momentum and the thought that they've not won a single pistol. Finally, there it is. Virtus.pro, they do fall Big to tie the scoreline, and now that they are into the eco, Virtus.pro didn't get a bomb plant. They probably won't force it up and buy into the next instead, so should give Big at least 9-8, and for the first time in this series, actually the chance to take the lead.
For the first time, they are at least in a nice tucked away spot, from which point they can start winning this game back in their hands. And Tizian gonna be tagged early on. It's gonna be down to 19 for him. With an MP9 in his hands, that certainly could cause some issue for Big, or at least for his duels, but I kind of like the fact that we forced it up here. Double scout, 3 deagles. Proper for them. They are a very forcey kind of team almost. They like a lot of times. Pop flash on mid.
Snatchy eventually to shut him down, but it seems like the momentum of the round already favoring the CT side. A simple shutdown by Dennis. Second should be on its way fairly soon, but overall, that is going to be big, taking double figures and a 2-round barrier going into VP's first buy round.
Yeah, certainly a little bit better than what we'd expected after VP's another stellar start, but yeah, it looks like Big are finally getting comfortable in their positions and on LAN itself. You know, we have to admit that for a moment, Big looked like they might be having issues because of LAN. That, you know, they are not in their home environment, or at least their setup environment, that perhaps the mentality is kind of lacking, or at least something is going wrong. And it looks like they've been able to solve those issues. They're able to get on in sync with each other, and they're working perfectly as a team. VP, though, on the other side, if we examine the plays as a whole, Dust is not exactly a map that allows for much random play. Everything can be predicted rather easily, and you can shut it down rather easily as well. And that's the problem for VP. They're trying their ace cards, which is trying to go for those random peaks, for those random plays, unexpectedly, I guess in a way, untested perhaps even. And it doesn't work out. They're starting to lose players left and right, and that's something that Big was struggling on Mirage, and now it's looking like it's going to be Tapson finding the entry. And a great start as Big take down Snatchy. It is 1 minute and 15 seconds. VP not looking too sweet anymore.
Not with that first man disadvantage. So much time left in the round, it gives such an ample opportunity for Big just to whittle the clock down, get inside the head of Virtus.pro here, and really begin to hit home. Veggie, however, able to trade onto Gobby, ensuring that you see that T-side trading back, although he is down to 26 points of health. And with Okalicious and Snacks both tagged as well, this will give Big at least easier chance to be able to trade out these kills. Although as they take the aggression inside of middle, Dennis to ensure that they can't aggress, and there's Tizian to help him out. Mihu finds 2, however. And this is now where it starts to get a little difficult, because it's traded back into a 2 versus 2. Antares to come from lower or inside of tunnels, but will take middle aggression with his teammate as well. So gives plenty of chance for Snacks to be able to get into such a great after plant position, as they now hear the weapon swap of a first player into a 2 versus 2, and the utility to be thrown down. Molotov to block off the doors, but Xantares waiting for that flashbang to assist his teammate in, or at least try and dive through that window. Around 25 seconds left to complete this retake. Snack seems mightily prepared. Mihu the same, and it seems like Virtus.pro, they've locked out the round, and there it is. A beautiful site hold to close out that B site, and again, first round going to that T side, 10-9, and VP, they're already making impact.
Yes, they do, and that's an important victory for them. It establishes their economy, it establishes their position in this second half, and from this point forward, they can start to chip away at Big, try and diminish their own bank. And, you know, if they are able to get rid of their double AWP setup right here, right now, which is already going to be investing, well, Big is already investing everything into this. They're pretty much putting everything on the line. Tapson and Dennis. Finally, we see Tapson with the op. Dennis gonna get the entry as Snacks will fall. That's a good start. The fake out didn't work out for VP and Big. This is a perfect start. Can they keep it up, though, is a better question. The double up, even though with 2 Deagles to support it, excuse me, a Deagle and a 5-7 to support it, that is where things can give them the game back in their hands. And more than anything, it can enable them to go up to 12 rounds, potentially.
He should be on the cards as well. Tagged down low, but still has the support. Antares, Snatchy able to get closed down. Veggie looking to try and respond with a peek inside of middle of his own, but a nice little crossfire setup by the CTs, ensuring middle is going to be fully protected. Virtus.pro going to have a hard time taking this, although if they have flashbangs to assist their peaks, they should be fine, but it's Antares that just rips them to pieces. Again, Big, they're able to trade the rounds. 11-9, straight back into the game, and considering that they invested so much into those AWPs, but left a couple of players weaker, it pays off dividends. It pays massively, and they get the round because of it. Virtus.pro now going to face The hardships of the lack of T-side economy, however, in that CT side, again, starting to feel very, very comfortable. Oh, God, Twitch chat, get ready.
Twitch chat in the crowd. But yeah, it's going to be Veggie. He's got a pistol. He's running out like a madman, trying to get out of long, fast. Taps and misses the shot. It's Zentauras that holds his line, and it's also going to be, I believe, Teasin right next to them. Tapson re-peeks. He's going to have a fun day today. He's just going to be going for those quick flash peeks. Snacks takes down Zentauras, but it's Got B actually with the 5-7. Excuse me, not Teasin. And yeah, that's pretty much the round gone. Snacks are 1 on 3. He shouldn't be getting much luck or much of anything really. He's got a deagle at least, 2 kills. There's that, but Big as Big R should not be dropping around like this, especially with bomb control in their hands.
Onto a 1v3. Going to be getting too much out of this. Snacks. Definitely look for a kill on Tizian, but not going to work out this time. 12-9. Virtus.pro, this is the vital round to keep them in the game. They have that purchase to go in their favor, but failing to make any ends of meat with this one, we'll see Big most likely to a 14-9, and that's going to be closing out the second map fairly soon. Virtus.pro, it comes down to this one. Looks like we do have a little bit of tactical pause to come. I hope it's Virtus.pro having a discussion of what they want to do going into this next round. Hope to see the AWP in the hands of Snatchy, and then he can challenge Dennis further on, and that's exactly what we will see. Although double AWP again on this T side for Big. This time Dennis and Tabson picking those up together. So interesting investment to say the least, but if it pays off, then that's going to be an ulterior angle they can use with having 2 AWPs, especially in afterplants, could really pay to support Big here. But you can see Virtus.pro right now really investing their heart and soul into this. They lose this one. You can see the $600 in the bank for the majority of these players. Going to be very little left over. This time Snatchy, first aggressive peek grenade. Drop him down low, but some aggression to be shown on short by Mihu, but it's Dennis. Instant capitalization, and already a 5 versus 4 as he falls back and keeps himself safe.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem. Snatchy also tacked down to 49. Luckily, he's got an AWP to work with, but if he misses his shot, that's pretty much the round gone once more. VP, oh, through the smoke. Dennis, he tries to play it Rambo style. Won't be given a chance to do anything much, though. Tizian is going to be able to shut down the first, and he's the sole defender of B, and he still peeks out wide, gets another kill, and that's got B to shut down Snacks. It's all eyes on Snatchy. A 1 on 5 in the round should be gone after it. 13-9, and Big are on a roll right now. They're having the fun of day, and well, Snatchy gets a frag to kind of feel a little bit better about himself, but it's not gonna do anything much for VP. This round should be as good as gone, and Big, I like the new, I like the woke up Big. They are certainly starting to perform the way I expected them to play on Mirage already.
But it's taken them a little while to get into the series, but now that they have, now that they're finding the momentum in their favor, we're really starting to see a solid display out of them finally. 13-9, as you mentioned, and the fact that Virtus.pro, whilst they will begin to grow in that round loss bonus, bomb plant in their favor means very little economy to be able to complete a full buy. Looks like we do have, again, a little bit of a pause to come, but the way that Big have been able to control the CT side, doing what Virtus.pro were really unable to do. They've gathered many rounds in a row. You can see even with the buy round that Virtus.pro are not able to have. Veggie going to invest into these rifles, but it should be very basic. We shouldn't see an AWP in their hands, and that's going to be, again, a disadvantage, but at least they're able to put the core fundamentals for the round themselves. The case to be purchased, Kevlar, and maybe a little bit of utility, but it comes down to the final straw where if they lose this round, not only is that 14, but with no bank left on the T side, surely a map point is inevitable. So it's down to VP to stop Big from getting close to this victory position right now. And yes, you can see it's such a limited buy round. Big, if they win this, they'll be laughing all the way to map 3 most likely. Veggie, however, beautiful aggression, but God be able to trade it. Snacks to do the same. Does at least have the support out of Tabson. toward Carave Long, but some instant action that sees it down into a 3v3. A missed shot this time, and they capitalize on it. Mihu will shut him down, and that gives the advantage to Virtus Pro now.
That's a problem. That becomes an issue that Big will not be able to fix anymore. Snatchy taking down Tizian. All three players waiting patiently speaks volumes that VP realize what's up, what could come behind them. They want to make sure they have a clear road towards A site. They've got a single smoke, so they have to be very careful how they throw it and when they throw it. Of course, with a minute left on the clock, Dennis, oh, he peeks short. Surely Snacks dies, but yeah, the timing will be missed, unfortunately. That's the round subsequently going down the drain for Big. So 10 rounds, double digits. VP are able to wake the hell up. They're able to pull themselves together at least. So Big is still not home free yet, but they're certainly starting to hit that home run overall. I'm kind of liking how they went about this round, though. I mean, got B, nicely done with the double on Long, of course. A bit of a shame that there was no other refrag coming through, but yeah, Big. It's going to be a save on the op on Dennis, and they have enough to rebuy the next. But it's going to be one of their last buys as well. Their economy has finally dipped below that critical mark, and the next buy is their last one if they're unable to win, or somehow transfer at least three or something of three or more rifles onto the next round equally so.
Thing as well, even with Big able to make as many rounds as they have done, just puts them in, again, an unfortunate position where, like you say, if they're not able to capitalize upon this next round, that's going to be money in the dirt back down to an eco. Will instantly allow Virtus Pro re-access to this game yet again. Even though it's 13-10, there is still many rounds to be played to end off this game, and it's back down into the hands of Big to keep up their pace into round number 27. Now that double digits are on the board, sorry, round number 24. Now that double digits are on the board for that T side, giving them at least a little bit more confidence to work with. Still going to be a tough task, especially on the T side, going to require the ultimate focus out of Virtus Pro in these next couple of rounds. And it seems like early they will their way down toward B tunnels, not going to fully best their setup as of yet, especially with that mid control that they have, going to sell out a little bit of a fake or split toward mid themselves, but straight up toward tunnels, it's Dennis. Able to close down Veggie early. And that essentially foils the plan of Virtus Pro, because now as Mihu's taken down, that's a 5 versus 2, versus 3. And whatever Virtus Pro wanted to do in that round is now out of the window. That is not possible anymore.
I mean, they've succeeded in this perfectly. Big. They've got themselves a 2-man advantage. They draw Virtus Pro down to the bloodied animal they are left, and Oculicious, Snacks, and Snatchy, unfortunately, they won't be getting very far. The boost in CT allows Tapson to get the free kill. Teasy in close range, and goodbye, Tapson, you will die, but it's still going to be a pop flash coming through. Teasian, he's going to find himself a double, and that is the 14th coming to close the day. VP, 6 away from winning map 2 and closing out the series 2-0. Now it's Big, 2 away from putting us on map 3 and potentially winning this series as a whole.
Yeah, been solid out of them, especially now that the CT side is being kept relatively clean. The fact that they have been able to, again, close down another solid round. It all starts with Dennis once again. He's the man that's been finding these early entries. He did it and Snatchy on that AWP in the previous round, and again, he's been able to open up an entry that has swayed the momentum in their favor, and this is really now starting to look like Big's game coming into these final couple of rounds. And as we do go back live again, it's all down to Virtus Pro, whether or not they will be able to afford an investment this time. Whether it's down to pistols, Kevlar, maybe not even to that extent, potentially. The round loss bonus definitely does build up a chance for them to reinvest, but gets down to the point where it's almost too late for Virtus Pro. They've not been able to capitalize upon some of the more previous rounds, and it's drawn them to a point where even if they put maybe 1 on the board, Big are still that close to either guaranteeing overtime or closing out the map itself that Virtus Pro have to play like picture perfect in the final remaining rounds of this game.
Yeah, they really have to. They have to excel at every single point, and they can win all rounds with bomb exploding, but as long as they win the round, that's the only thing that matters in the end. And Right now, we see the crowd is pretty excited as well, I guess you could almost say. I mean, they don't look too excited. They look like, oh, come on, just bring the Brazilians on and the Portuguese on. We don't care about this game anymore. Certainly, they're going to be hyped up once Offset comes on stage to face off Game Legion. But it's, yeah, oh, headphones off. Oh, this is a problem. This is
pause.
technical
Pause, yeah.
Technical pause, yeah, this is an issue. Something is going wrong, and whew, I hope there's not a big issue on the side of VP. As that usually means they need a lot of time to solve it.
Oh, ice cold got B-Lux as well. He knows that this map is probably in their favor.
Oh yeah, he has to be aware
He's
of
just
that.
sat there like, got this, boys. Because essentially,
Headphones back in?
they know it looks like we should be getting back live fairly soon. Like you say, headphones going back in, but they're big. They've definitely turned things around, and I'm really happy to see it. Because obviously after the back of or at the end of the first map, when we see VP absolutely dismantle them 16-5, you think, if that happens in the second map, we're really, whilst it's a solid series for Virtus Pro, we're not really going to see anything too exciting. It's going to be more of the same, a dominant performance nevertheless. But now that we do have rounds being closely contested, we can see the true extent of how far these teams can go and how much they're willing to throw at this game to really close out the victory. And up to now, it's going to be big that sail to a victory in map 2, unless, as we've mentioned, VP brings something incredible out of the bag and really close it off.
Yeah, that's true. Like it's coming down to this, the last one, right? This is the last chance that, of course, VP will be given in big. And they want to make sure there will be no chance and there will be no more chances at all. Of course, in any case, I believe the game is continuing on. Yeah, we are continuing. Here we go. VP, they've got the op on Snatchy. Dennis wielding the op on Big. I'm surprised again Tapson is not the one that's opping. That's, you know, it comes as a bit of a shock to me. Dennis perhaps taking the role of primary opper on Dust, at least, for the most part. But yeah. Ooh, VP, I love the change. They're going fast through short. Got B responds with one, but he's blinded out now. He should be dying, and here he goes. Miku. Oh, Tapson! Oh, okay, Tapson. The lineup is real. Snatchy, Miku, good night. And it's probably the round gone. Snacks and Oculicious, they find themselves one at least. So a refrag to happen. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. What is this? What is going on right now? How? Tapson. Oh, did he? Surely knows.
He's so confused. He's like, okay, there we go. I was going to say, he's like, where's he gone right now? Hunting for him.
Yeah.
That smoke, but eventually does find him, and it's down onto Snacks. Didn't spot the first head, but Tabson, the scope of the AUG, as accurate as ever. 15-10. That point for Big, and with the fact that Virtus Pro invested into that round, I don't think they'll have too much in the arsenal left to bring. But at this point, it seems like the Germans might have just taken us to a third and final map. Beautiful lineup by Tabson. Unlucky for VP, but what a way to confirm 2 frags there, and that is going to be map point for Big. Looking to take us into game number 3 of the series, and a way to do it after being 7-2 down, I believe it was, to bring it back to this position now. And you can see the buy round is so limited. Dennis, again, another entry frag in his favor as he closes down Veggie, but this time Snacks able to capitalize early and put them back into a 4 versus 4.
Yeah, VP keep a venue open here if they are able to find 5 rounds. We go into overtime, but that's, again, a pretty big if. Although Zentearis will be caught. We can see the frustration in his face once he died there, and it's a 4-on-3. Now VP, finally the entry back in their favor, or at least the advantage in their position. That is something we haven't seen in a little while already, and right now Snatchy just wanting to patiently find, or at least listen into any sort of information he could gather. Got B on doors mid. Of course, Dapson on side A, and it's going to be Tizian holding from car. He has to stay alive. Here comes the play. 3 players through tunnels, and it's going to be Gobbeat that helps him out the hole. Tizian spotted out. He gets the one. Tizian sprays down, though, but Miku responds immediately. He's going to be able to shut down both defenders. And it's back to a 1-on-2. Clutch round. Snacks spotting the cross from doors. No, now he is, actually. Tapson is ready. He pre-fires. What a well-executed play. Tapson. This is a clutch round he can actually win. He's got the kit, he's got the time, and he certainly has the firepower for it.
Really slow this down as well now. Snacks on 18 points of health. Does definitely have tuition that he might be approaching via tunnels, although it seems like tabseN's not actually going to go for this. Fair enough. Like, he's definitely just going to set up for the exit frags instead. Fair enough. If they were to approach via tunnels, then might just get himself a double. But unfortunately, that happened this time. But again, it is another round won by Virtus Pro. We'll see 11th put on the board for them. There isn't too much bank on the E side, but they will be able to reinvest. It's almost the same exact scenario for Big, though. And now that they lose tabseN, well, that puts them into an even worse position. They should be down to an eco, maybe even a fourth buy, depending if there's a couple of players below $2,000, $1,800. Even so, is VP guaranteeing 11th round, looking for more in E side. Like you said, they have to make 5 in a row to confirm overtime. It's definitely possible with the way that they control the CT economy, but all going to be reliant on the plays out of Big. And yeah, they will go for an eco this time, so they will bring a buy to the next. This should be VP guaranteeing at least a 12th round, however.
Yeah, it should. I mean, Big, if they get a win with a round like this, then I'm certainly going to be losing my shit. But
Block
Snax
off the CT
patiently
spawn area.
waits one. It's Dennis to respond immediately, though. Nicely well done by, at least by Dennis. Gets an AK with it, although